Kotrizan has teamed up with Ernesty in the individuals ranked 22nd and 24th in their class. This quartet is now a unified team. They collectively agreed not to exert themselves fully at the onset of the competition. Their objective was to significantly improve their rankings, at least for the students previously ranked 22nd, 23rd, and 24th. Even Ernesty, who held the 15th position, desired to climb higher in the rankings. For the other three teammates, enhancing their rankings held immense importance as they aimed to prove that commoners could successfully compete with royals and elites. Kotrizan also felt a personal obligation to improve his ranking. He believed that as a student of such a powerful master, he should at least be in the top 5. Kotrizan's master had instructed him to go to Quilsberg, implying that he would realize he wasn't as exceptional as he thought. The master acknowledged Kotrizan's potential for growth, emphasizing that he wasn't strong enough yet. Kotrizan's master stated that if he reached the top 5, he would then consider him truly talented. Kotrizan's master had also expressed confidence in his ability to achieve this goal. The competition commenced, and temporary alliances consisting of 4 or 5 individuals were quickly formed. The examination didn't impact the students' scores, as theory and practical exams had already been conducted. This competition was solely for reassembling the rankings. Any student who didn't wish to participate could drop out, but they would be placed at the bottom of the class rankings. If multiple students dropped out, the student with the higher initial ranking would remain higher than the others. No student chose to withdraw from the competition. There were originally thought to be 7 teams, then 6, then 4, and eventually confirmed to be 5 teams. The competition featured 4 teams of 5 students each and 1 team of 4 students. The team compositions revealed that Ernesty was the only student who wasn't allied with students of neighboring ranks. This unusual team formation caused concern among many of the competitors. As the fight began, Ernesty and Kotrizan anticipated being the primary targets, believing that everyone disliked them. However, only Team 3 immediately engaged in combat against them. Team 4 and Team 2 formed an alliance to defeat Team 1, which consisted of students ranked A1 to A5. Ernesty and Kotrizan concentrated on maintaining their ground. The students ranked A22 and A24, lacking significant growth since entering the school, were quickly eliminated from the ring. A22 and A24 slowed the enemy team down enough. Kotrizan and Ernesty were able to take them down. Those two were also annihilated in the process. After defeating Team 3, only Kotrizan and Ernesty remained in Team 5. Kotrizan and Ernesty observed 3 members of Team 2 attempting to escape. The alliance between Team 2 and Team 4 originally consisted of 10 individuals, with 7 being eliminated. 4 members of Team 1 remained in the fight. Student A5 had been knocked out of the ring. 3 members of Team 2 remained in the competition. Recognizing their inability to defeat Team 1, Team 2 focused their attack on Student A4, attempting to eliminate him. Carlson Hendricks declared that he alone was capable of defeating 2 commoners. Carlson Hendricks then turned his attention towards Ernesty and Kotrizan. Ernesty and Kotrizan simultaneously attacked Carlson Hendricks. Carlson Hendricks hardened his body using aura manipulation. Carlson Hendricks possessed the ability of aura manipulation, allowing him to utilize his internal energy, or aura, for both defensive and offensive purposes. Carlson Hendricks was currently focused on defense, aiming to exhaust Ernesty and Kotrizan's stamina. Kotrizan realized that Carlson Hendricks posed a difficult challenge for him. Trusting Ernesty's abilities, Courtesan decided to leave the fight against Carlson Hendricks to him. Courtesan then moved towards the ongoing fight involving students A1, A2, A3, A4, A6, and A7. Student A6 had already been eliminated, and A7 was in a precarious situation. Courtesan swiftly kicked him out of the ring. Students A1, A2, A3, and A4 now faced Courtesan. Ernesty continued his battle against Carlson Hendricks. Courtesan recognized the stance the remaining 4 people were in. The stance consisted of 3 people in the front and Frank in the back. Similar to the eagle claw formation. Just not the complete version. Courtesan threw his sword to the middle of the stance. The sword was enchanted with enhancement magic, and hit A4, but not enough to knock him out. Courtesan also swapped place with a stone, which he threw towards A2. Courtesan kicked A2 out of the ring. Courtesan realized he could condense mana in front of his limbs. Although ineffective, it was still a good way for Courtesan to attack. If he knew his attacks were going to hit, Courtesan hurt A4 a lot. Courtesan picked up the sword and chanted magic. A3 and A4 tried to take advantage of the situation. Courtesan chanted magic with one hand and threw the sword at A3 with the other. A3 had to dodge the sword. Courtesan swapped with the sword, which led to A3's half-made spell to explode in A3's face. Due to it being improperly made. The class had been previously taught that improperly made spells would explode if not launched properly. The exploding spell knocked A3 out. A4 charged toward Courtesan, thinking that he didn't have a sword. Courtesan uses the moonless silent cleave to cut off A4's legs. A4 was instantly eliminated from the ring. All that was left was A1 and Courtesan while Ernesty was fighting Carlson. Frank stopped himself from punching Courtesan and moved back suddenly as Carlson Hendricks was flying towards them. Carlson Hendricks was thrown out of the ring by Ernesty, who used the same punch that he used to knock out Courtesan in their earlier match. Ernesty came up to join the fight, and now it was Courtesan and Ernesty versus Frank Bro. Courtesan could outmatch Frank in swordsmanship. If Frank used chantless magic, Courtesan and Ernesty had the advantage. Ernesty could copy Frank if he tried to do something else. Courtesan's tricks of swapping places didn't work on Frank. Frank was seeing through their attacks and dodging them. Courtesan took a step back, realizing that he was losing stamina. Courtesan considered telling Ernesty that they should prepare for one final attack. Before Courtesan could speak, Ernesty made distance with Frank. He decided to trick Frank by making him believe that they were going to distance themselves. Ernesty went in for a punch, thinking that Courtesan would be the perfect bait to make Frank think they would be maintaining their distance. Frank saw through this plan and used chantless magic to electrocute Ernesty in one go. Ernesty falls to the ground. Seeing Ernesty fall, Courtesan threw his sword with all of the mana he had gathered for his final attack. Frank had to jump behind a lot to avoid the sword. Courtesan picks up Ernesty and told him that he did well and that he didn't need to fight anymore. Courtesan declared that he would see to it that Frank didn't leave with his limbs intact. The sword landed near the edge of the ring, and Courtesan swapped himself and Ernesty in his arms with the sword, placing Ernesty out of bounds. Courtesan slowly walked toward the sword and Frank Bro. Frank Bro was terrified. The whole stadium was scared. Courtesan was too angry to realize what was happening. Courtesan then realized what was happening as he saw that Frank Bro was shaking. The crowd went silent, and the atmosphere turned heavy. The heavy atmosphere was because of the amount of mana that Courtesan was releasing unconsciously. The mana was heating everything up, and the temperature started to rise. Kotrizan realized that he was subconsciously exuding large amounts of mana. The mana was burning due to his raw anger, without even chanting a fire spell. Frank Bro gave up. Ernesty became the A1 of the class, Frank Bro became A2, and Kotrizan became A3. Carlson Hendricks became A4, and the previous A5 remained A5.